dancer anytime soon or anything like that. I think that's long gone. I don't have the technique for that, but just seeing the technique and the drivenness and how they're all so in time with each other, and the connection of the company, and just how like magical they can be with the music and the beats that they make. And I was always so inspired, like from a very young age, when we had video. Yes, I had it on video, showing my age here, but yes, I had it on video, and that was one of the main things, that inspired me from a very young age. And even though it didn't have any singing on it, it was more predominantly dance, but just the general feel of performing. I'm trying to think what the first live thing I saw. I can't even think. I remember my first musical, which was actually Wicked. I was very late when it came to watching musicals live, and my brother took me to see Wicked. He was like, "You need to see the show." I think by this point he's seen it like 10 times, and I was like, "Yeah, right, yeah, cool, I'll come along." Like, not really knowing, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what is this phenomenon and this music?" That was just absolutely incredible score, and the people who executed it as well. And I just remember seeing people and thinking, like, I can do that too. And not only that, it was a sense of like, there wasn't a lot of things I watched, there wasn't a lot of diversity on the, so I always was like I want to be that person for someone like me.
Of course.
And that's so special for me now, because I feel like where I am and things I've done, it's nice to receive messages in that way. So yeah, that was like a answer.
Would you say that Wicked is what kind of got you into musical theatre then, or
no,
what would you say got you into musical theatre?
I've watched musicals since I was little, and I did do it in my like local dance school. But I would say like Sister Act was definitely up there. A Chorus Line. What's that? Sweeney Todd. I nearly forgot the name right there. I'm trying to think of other things, but they were the main kind of musicals that got Hairspray.
Hairspray's great.
Classic.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Wicked was the first I've seen live, but I've definitely been listening and doing musical songs since I was very little.
Lovely. So we've got a couple more questions coming in. A lot about saying how Stars is a massive bop. I said this to you earlier. If anyone has seen JJ's released with her group Seven, is it pronounced Seven?
It's pronounced SVM.
SVN, yeah. They've released their new song Stars today. Go check it out on all music platforms. There's a bit of promo for you there.
Oh, thank you.
Here's a question which mentions it as well. How does Panto differ from Six? P.S. Stars is a bop.
Thank you, lovely. Thank you. How does Panto differ from Six? It's a whole different vibe. 100%. It's my first Panto professionally. I did it when I was little, and it was like an Amdram kind of vibe. And obviously this is a huge production with so much budget behind it, and it's gorgeous. The costumes, the set, everying, the cast are phenomenal.
It's great. Yeah.
But I think it's a different story, isn't it? Like with Six, you know, there's a storyline, and with this, obviously there is a storyline, but it's hitting a different genre, and it's still comedy, and it's still got pop songs, but it's just as fun and just as creative. But yeah, it's definitely a complete different vibe. And with Six, you know, you're on the stage for 75 minutes. Whereas this, I'm like, I've got an interval. I'm like, what? I get to go back to my dressing room and sit down for a bit with free
have a drink, have a bit to eat.
Yeah, no, literally have a little snack, have a little cup of tea, and I'm like, what's going on? This is so weird.
Of course.
But yeah.
Yeah, and there was a question similar to this which came in on Facebook from Sean, which was, what's the main difference in rehearsals for a leading West End show different to pantomime? So slightly similar question there, but that's the rehearsal process.
Yeah, thank you for the question, Sean. It's pretty much the same in the sense of, you know, it's still professional environment. We've still got a short amount of time to crack on and do things. I think with Panto, it's just shorter than you ever could imagine. And there is so much you have to cram in within such a short amount of time to then tech it to then get it up and running. With musicals, it is the same. I just feel like there's a little bit more time, but then you are learning a whole musical. But the same way here, you're learning a whole show. It's exactly the same process. You learn the music. You know, if you're lead or, you know, cover, you're learning the music, then you'll go and do the dance routines. At the same time, you're doing all the scenes and stuff. You'll do a read through at the beginning of the rehearsals, make sure everyone knows what they're doing, who they are, you know, hearing the whole show for the first time, not just you reading it yourself, you know, hearing it from the characters. And then it makes it come alive. But yeah, I would say it's just a shorter process, and it's just like, we gotta get this done, there's not enough time. But everything still runs smoothly. Thank God for the company managers and everyone sorting it out, and the directors and the creative team. Very grateful for them. So yeah, it's pretty much the same. It's still a professional environment.
Nice. And I suppose as well is that you've met all these people, what was it, about 2-3 months ago now?
Yeah.
Did you meet them all for the first time, or had you worked with any of them before? In
September, I met all of the leads, except from JC, who's playing Dick Whittington.
Of course.
He was casted at that time. He literally was casted like a week later. And yeah, it was great. And I think I was in 3 weeks off of 6, so we were moving theatres. And I remember going there. I left and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm starting a new job with these people. This is crazy. And I thought, what a lovely bunch to be working with. And then when we met 3-4 weeks ago now, I don't even know, everyone, it was just crazy. I was like, wow, like this is mental. And everyone's just lovely, everyone's so hardworking, everyone's so driven. It's a beautiful cast, and creatives and back of house, all just beautiful people. So it's been lovely. It honestly has.
Great. We've got a couple more. Well, we've got loads of questions coming through. I'm just trying to select some of the ones which are. We talked earlier about the shows that kind of inspired you, and Antonia's got a question here: is who inspired you the most, or who inspires you the most now, even?
Number one, I will always say my mum. My mum is my everything. She's my best friend. And there's a lot of things she's been through in life that I'm just like, wow, how you did it, I will never know. But she's the bravest woman alive, the strongest woman alive, and I love her dearly. So my mum inspires me the most, forever and always. Artist wise, always, I mean, everyone wants to be like Beyonce, right? Like since I was little, I mean 4 years old, I was like, yep, I want to be just like her. And I mean, no one can be like Beyonce. Beyonce is Beyonce in her own right, of course. But yeah, I would say Beyonce second, because, I mean, what can't she do? What can't she do?
Exactly.
She's got the kids, she's got the husband, she's got the career, she's been in a girl group, she's been solo, she dances, she sings, she acts. What more? What more? And she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, what more? And I like the way she goes about stuff. She's not out there on social media, but she is, and you know the way
she's
she
still present in a way, isn't she?
Yeah, still present, but like holds her family life back, and her, you know, everything's quite she'll give what she wants to give, rather than it all being out there. And I think that's what's so like mysterious and amazing about her, because she doesn't have to be like, this is my whole life, love me, love me. She's like, this is me, I'm gonna give you a little dabble, love me or love me or not, you know.
Of course, it's not constant and everything.
There's loads, but they're my main two.
Nice. And a couple of questions from me, and I'm sure that the public would love to know. Obviously, you spend a lot of time rehearsing and performing on stage, but what do you actually do to relax off stage when you're not making other albums and doing other things like that? What else do you do? Do you go to Pret? Do you go to the gym? What else do you like to
do? It's funny you mentioned Pret, because I love Pret. I'm in Pret every day.
It's a great job we got one across the road then.
I know, literally, when I heard that it was 4-minute walk, I said, okay, brilliant. Every time we have 15 minutes, I'm there. I'm like, bye guys, anyone want anything? I'm going to prep. Yeah, chai latte, oatmeal, just letting everyone know, my favourite. Ginger shots, my favourite.
You'll get a tray of them at stage door now, just you
I
wait.
mean, I'm welcoming a whole tray. I'm welcoming it. I'm not mad. But yeah, I do love a prep. I work out when I can. I do really enjoy it.
Yeah.
It just makes me feel good. I don't really work out for a main goal. I have one. If I was consistent, I would achieve a lot more. But I like to just do it just to feel good.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, I'm in SVN, so I love to write.
Yeah.
And although that's still creative, it's still part of my downtime. And when I've got a moment too, I write when I feel inspired. Sometimes it's 3 a.m. Sometimes it's, you know, in the day. Sometimes I'll be walking and I'm just like, oh, that would make a good song. Let me just write that down.
Yeah.
I like to meditate. I'm very scatty and I've got a lot of things in my mind and a lot of things going on. And it's nice to just take a little breather, even if it's 10 minutes. And I love a good Netflix series. Give me a Netflix series and I'm there. I like to just complete one at a time because I get so invested.
Yeah. What are you on at the moment?
I'm watching Money Heist. Literally just before this, I was completing one of the episodes. Yeah, Money Heist is amazing. I think I've got like 2 episodes left till I finish it all.
Oh, okay. So you've got another series to go of something else now?
I haven't got anything yet to come. Yeah. So any suggestions?
Okay, comment your suggestions on everyone.
DM me.
Oh dear. Right. Okay, let's have a couple more questions then. So we've got a lovely question from here we go. Has any of the girls, I'm assuming that is any of your colleagues from Six, come to see Panto yet?
No,
or are they planning on?
They haven't yet. They just went to see Sophie Isaacs in the Palladium, who played Kay Howard. So they haven't come to see me yet, but I don't expect them to either. Norwich is a way away.
It is.
But I mean, if they do, I'll be buzzing. I know some of them are planning to, but yeah.
A question from I Love Six the Musical Forever, of course.
Of course.
What's your favourite thing about Panto so far?
Have
you got a special memory that you'll take away with you yet, or?
I mean, yesterday was pretty epic.
Yeah.
With the proposal at the end and the audience in general last night before the proposal of Joe and Luke. Before that they were just epic. They were shouting at everything and adding their own little ad-libs, and they were getting really annoyed when we found out that, you know, Dick took the money but he didn't actually take it. And they were getting so angry. And we were like, it's not real. So last night, but also just the general the comedics, Richard and Joe, who play the Dame, and Jack, Sarah the cook, and Jack. And they're just epic because every night and every show there's always just something special that they'll come out with, and I'm just like, how does your brain come out with these things like that straight away? And I'm always looking at them like, what? And Joe Tracini, of course, as well. And I'm like, what the hell? And Joe said to me one time, he was like, Joe Pollard, he was like, it's just like when you do a riff, like a riff that you haven't done before. It's just like that. It just comes out, and it's just, you're not thinking
about it. You don't know where
it
comes from, but it happens.
Yeah, exactly. It just happens. And he was like, that's exactly what the jokes are like when it's off the top of my head, it just comes out. And I'm just like, it just amazes me because not only does it come out so quickly, it's so witty and it's so funny. And I know that if I was going to do anything like that, everyone would be like, Tupperweed. Do you know what I mean?
I'm sure they won't. Give it a go tonight.
Yeah, I'll try. I'm sure Richard will be looking at me like, what is she doing?
Okay, so we've got a question from Isaac, and I don't know if you're allowed to share any of this yet, or even if you know, but what are your plans for after Panto? So after we finish in January?
I can't share all, but I can share You've probably seen it already, but SVN have got their our concert on the 11th of February at O2 Islington, and we're super excited. Tickets are out now, so if you haven't got any tickets, purchase. We're super excited. We've just dropped our song today, which I said earlier, which you mentioned as well. And yeah, it'll be great, like, for everyone to sing it, and I'm so excited. I can't wait. We performed it at the Drive-In in April this year, but it'll be amazing to perform it now it's been released. And many other songs and stuff that are on the way. So
exciting.
Can't say too much.
Okay, let's go a little bit back to Dick Whittington and a little bit to some of the questions as well. The question was, what is Dick Whittington and his cat all about? So in a summary, could you summarise it for anyone, and a little bit about your character as well?
Yeah, so Dick Whittington and his cat is basically about, obviously, Dick Whittington. He's on his own and he's got no money or home, and he wants to come to London and be like, oh, let me find my fame and fortune, is what he says. And he thinks that everyone's amazing and he's going to find all these wonderful people, and at first it turns out not so great, but then he finds his soulmate, his cat, which is definitely his soulmate, I'd say, in the show. And along that journey he meets this beautiful woman. I wonder who that is.
Wonder who that is.
I played him. He meets Alice, who I luckily get to play, and Alice shows him around London and shows him to her father. Her father offers him to work in the shop and offers him to stay there if he can help out. He then gets accused of stealing the money, and it wasn't him that did it, but the Queen Rat wants to take over. He also wants to be Lord Mayor of London. That's what he wants to find his fame and fortune, to be Lord Mayor of London. And during that, there's some hurdles, and he overcomes it at the end. And, you know, the baddies don't always win, and the good do. And yeah, he gets married to Alice, and they all live happily ever after.
As all pantos would finish.
But there is a little twist in the script, which is amazing, written by Richard Gauntlet, who plays Sarah the cook. There is a lovely little twist in the second act, which is wonderful, and it's spectacular with the set and everything that's going on, and I love it so much. But I don't want to spoil it, because everyone should come down and see it. But that's the traditional storyline, but then there also is a little twist in there. Which keeps it fresh and exciting, and I think that's what everyone has been loving so far.
Lovely. Question from Zoe Phillips. How do you stop yourself laughing at the funny moments on stage?
I honestly, it's so hard. And it's panto, so you can kind of get away with it. Exactly. Which is great. I actually asked Richard one time, I was like, so if I actually find it funny, like, can I laugh? Because I am laughing. He's like, yeah, if you'd laugh at it, of course. But at the same time, my character's the straight character, in the sense of, I'm not the comedic in the show. I'm playing the love interest, so I can't, you know, take moments where there doesn't need to be moments to be taken, but I can laugh at stuff, because some things are just so hilarious and off the cuff and just so funny. And even when you know it's coming, you're like, oh, that's made me laugh again. Which is wonderful. So yeah, I find it hard. At the same time, it's all right. I can get away with it.
Okay, and what, other than Fret, what do you like most about Norwich so far? Obviously, you were here a couple of years ago at the Playhouse when Six launched, and so you know Norwich a little bit. But what do you like to do around Norwich? What do you like most?
I think what's so wonderful about Norwich is I could go for a stroll and see all the gorgeous like decor and the cobbly streets and be entertained. But then I can also, you know, go shopping, and there's everything that's accessible. And food-wise, there's everything that's accessible. But then there's a beautiful market, and there's lovely, like, Christmas lights at the moment, and I just think you can always discover something new in Norwich. Like, I'm still finding little bits where I'm like, oh my gosh, what, that's here, or oh my gosh, if I take a left turn here, there's a beautiful little alley full of cute little shops, and I'm
Yeah.
like, where was this?
Yeah, there's loads of hidden gems, aren't there?
Hidden gems. Norwich is hashtag hidden gems. It really, really is.
We just started something.
We've just started a trend. It's happening. But yeah, I think that's what I love about it, and everyone's so lovely and friendly, and I absolutely adored it last time I came, so I was super excited to be coming back, and I have that same love and feel that I had before for it now, if not more. And there's still things that I get, like, I'm yet to discover and go to, and I love a good food spot. So any recommendations, let me know.
Comment below.
Comment below.
Deliver them to stage door. Along with the chai lattes.
Yes, it's all coming. It's all coming. But yeah, Norwich is brilliant. I just love it. I just love it.
Oh, good, lovely. It was lovely to have you here, anyway.
No, thank you.
Here's another question here for you. If you could see any show revived on the West End right now, what would it be and why?
Ooh, that's a great one. Rent. I would love to see Rent revived on the West End, because they did a beautiful festival in the Hope Theatre this year and last year during lockdown, and it was absolutely beautiful, and I didn't get to see it in person, but I got to see it online, and it is one of them shows that are off West End, because it just works that way. It's just that kind of show. But I just think for the time that we're in, you know, with the pandemic and everything going on, and how we're still in this situation 2 years later, and obviously the topic with Rent, if people don't know, is about AIDS, you know, and how that spread in the 80s and how that was all going on. I think it's so relevant for now, because there's so much love and hope in it also, and I think it's reminded to leave the fear factor out of it, and remember the good things about life and the people that you have around you, and no matter how big or how small things are that you have, or people that you have, just to know that it's valuable, and to be grateful for it, and grateful for the small things like our health and our wealth, and you know, the fact that we can just easily access water and food, etc., etc., a house over our head, and beautiful friends and family that we have. And I think, yeah, if Rent was revived in the West End right now, just to be there and everyone go see it, especially in this time, I think it would move so many. And it's beautiful music also. So yeah.
Lovely. Have you seen Tick Tick Boom on Netflix yet? Have you heard about that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, that's based about the story of Rent, and I think it's about the creator. It's got Andrew Garfield in. That's a Netflix thing for you to watch after.
Oh, well, here we go.
There you go.
I didn't know you were going to give me the suggestions, but yes. I mean, you did the other day as well, to be fair. You're the man. You the man.
Oh dear. Right, we've got a couple more questions, and I don't want to keep too much of your time, because you've got to be here in a minute.
I know, right? Got to see the show tonight.
Exactly. So we've got, what's been the funniest thing that's happened on stage so far? Or what's happened so far on stage that's been the funniest? Something gone wrong? Has something hilarious happened with someone's cue? Has there
has been little moments.
Or even off stage, with any kind of makeup incidences or any rehearsal instances that happened on stage that went completely hilarious and funny?
Oh, off the top of my head, nothing's coming to the top of my head that's like the funniest thing that's happened. Because there's been a few moments that I'm like, oh my gosh, as if. Oh yeah, I mean, it's not that funny, but yesterday when me and JC got to the scene where he asked me to marry him, everyone was like, kiss, kiss, the audience, and they were proper shouting. And it was funny because JC was trying to hold it in, like, and Joe, who plays Tommy the cat, had to like be like, guys, they're not gonna kiss, like let them do this moment. It was funny because we just had to hold it together, but it's not that funny. I can't think of anything on the top of my head. I'm
You'll
so
probably
sorry, guys.
have stuff in the next 3 weeks that will
Yeah,
happen.
give me time. Give me time.
Okay, from Isaac, what is your favourite moment of 2021 so far? Lots have happened this year with, you know, 6 moving to the theatre at the Vaudeville and Panto happening here. Anything else that's happened? What's been your favourite moments?
It might sound cliche, but one of my favourite moments is just having theatre back. And that sounds really cliche, but it's brought joy to so many people, and to have the audiences back and feeling safe in this theatre, in Norwich, in London, in the Lyric, in the Vaudeville, and you know, all the others in the West End and all the other productions that are around in the UK and everything. I think just having theatre back, being able to tour, and just seeing hope for our industry, not only for the performers, for the people front of house, for the people backstage, for the marketing team, for the, you know, the social media people, everything. I think it's our pride and our joy, and we provide so many beautiful moments for so many people, and I think that that's one of my favorite moments, because there was so much hope lost, and we were holding on to such a thin strand of it, like, oh, it will, we have to continue, you know. We found so many ways during lockdown to make it happen, but it wasn't there in sight live, and to just have that live and just see so many people lives go back to normal, and also provide so much, you know, happiness for people also. I think that's one of my favorite moments.
And I think as well, it's about the audience's experiences and coming back into the theatre. I mean, we had 6 which opened here back in September. It was the first one that opened within 18 months. And actually to see everyone, you know, coming in, singing along, having a good time, you know, getting their ice cream in the interval for some shows and doing all the bits they do when coming to the theatre that people have missed doing. It's that experience of coming back.
Yeah, and it's a different feel. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna go to the theatre today. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to the theatre and I'm gonna watch a show, and I can't wait to see the performers, and I'm gonna clap for everyone, not just the leads. Like, I'm clapping for everyone who's working at the theatre, and it's a different level of appreciation, because I feel like more of us are now getting appreciated. And I think that's beautiful. And the fact that people do actually come, because it is a scary time, and it can be, and it is full of fear, and, you know, anxiety is through the roof with so many things, you know, and then that happens. And just to provide that escape for someone during that whole hour, 2 hour, 3 hour show, and have someone leave their house for us, and us being like, no, we want to put on this show for you. It's beautiful. It's so rewarding in so many ways. I get chills like thinking about it, and like I get to do it in like what, 2-3 hours time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? No matter with the pandemic going on, and you know, it's winter, everyone's got colds, and you know, we're all still like, let's go, because it's such a special time. And especially during Christmas. So what an amazing time to be putting on Panto. Thank you, Norwich, Theatre Real.
And of course, as well, of how safe it is as well in the theatre as well, with people come to see it, people wearing their masks and everything, and people are actually cooperating because they do want to come and see theatre. They want it to keep going, and, you know, they don't want to lose it again.
Yeah, literally. I think that's what's so beautiful about it as well. Like, there is so much safety, and, you know, you have to wear your mask, and you have to send in your lateral flow, and if you've got your COVID pass and your boosters, and etc., there's ways for everyone to access the theatre. And yeah, I think it's wonderful, because you're not scared, and it was deemed as theatres are scary, we can't have them open, and yet there's been nothing but greatness since they've been back open. And obviously COVID is still hitting some theatres, touch wood, you know, it is happening, because it is still a real pandemic out there, but the audience is still safe, and you know, we do our very best to make that happen. So yay.
Okay, one last question before we wrap up, because obviously you've got to be here in a moment. What is one thing that you'll take away from this panto experience that you will use for the rest of your life in other future roles? But what is one thing that you'll take away from this experience here?
To have fun and to not be so serious, because life can be so serious and you can get so focused on something to be like, I must get it right, I must do this, I must da 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 da. And it's not about that. Life is short, and it can be beautiful if you're just silly and you have fun and you enjoy the present, because there's nothing like it. So yeah, just to have fun, be silly.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Obviously, Dick Whittington is here until the 9th of January. JJ's new record is SVN is out today. Go stream it on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever streaming platforms are on, and buy their CD, see their concerts in February and everything else. Keep them posted. But thank you so much. It's been great talking to you.
It's been lovely talking to you too.
See you soon.
Care.
All the best for tonight.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.